Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and this is
Jay.
Indeed. And we got some news stories for you today, this Monday, November 11th. But today, we will actually be starting with a plug.
I love plugs.
Indeed. We are very proud to announce that the Thaiger editor-in-chief, Will Scott, has returned to publishing after a 7-year hiatus with The Entertainers, 1992 to 1997, Kevin Keegan's legacy. The book highlights Newcastle United's iconic era under Keegan's leadership, known for thrilling football and near misses on major titles. Featuring insights from 35 former players and staff like Alan Shearer and Peter Beardsley, it revisits Keegan's transformative impact. Keegan himself wrote the foreword, adding depth to tales of the team's bold playing style and their dramatic loss of a 12-point lead. Scott, who joined the Thaiger in 2022, spent his spare time creating this nostalgic piece, perfect as a holiday gift. Released on November 4th, it is available on Amazon and in bookstores.
All right. There we go. Our own William Scott. He's already a published writer. He's written quite a few books already. And in general, it's quite a big feat to become a published writer. So we're very proud that one of our own has actually published his own book. And he's a Geordie himself. He is from Newcastle, UK, and been a lifelong diehard Newcastle fan. So this hits close to him.
Who better to write this book than a Geordie himself?
There we go.
Great. Yeah.
And he used to be a sports writer. He's a published journalist as well. He was a journalist for many years in the UK, a sports writer. So this is his area of expertise. So if you do love football yourself, or know someone who loves football, know someone who knows British football, Kevin Keegan, Newcastle. You know,
there you go. Yeah, man, it was a classic era. Apparently, how do you blow a 12-point lead though? I kind of want to know that story now. That's really insane. Yeah. Well, anyway, shall we get on to the show?
Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be talking about a 20-year-old tragedy still impacting modern Thai politics. Some badly behaving Brits caught in the wrong on the roadways, and a little later, a look at Japan's latest automated answer to its labor supply shortages.
First story, yeah.
Our first story today is regarding Thailand and China to strengthen tourism ties across ASEAN region. Great news for relationships between Thailand and China as they are collaborating to enhance tourism across the ASEAN region, with Thailand positioned as a key hub. The initiative, driven by China Tourism Academy, involves a proposed team of 100 experts studying strategies for tourist development. Now, the plan supports Chinese President Xi Jinping's policy of making China a global tourism leader, benefiting economic and environmental aspects. This effort aims to impact over 2 billion people and includes a memorandum of understanding with Thailand, expected to be signed next year, commemorating 50 years of diplomatic ties. There we go. More great news for China and Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was just in Macau this past weekend, and it was just, I mean, obviously Macau's part of China, but totally flooded.
Yeah.
And then seeing the way they splash money around.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that Thailand doesn't want to get its beak wet on that. That's for sure. So I think that's probably good news for the tourism sector here.
So once Thailand starts casinos, and if they start casinos in Thailand,
game over.
Could you imagine
that? For sure.
Yeah.
The influx will be nuts. I mean, that's the one, it's very funny. I feel like Western people, we like a bit of party tourism, and like, tropical escapes and things like that. Chinese love their gambling. That is their vice of choice.
So do the Thais.
Thais do too, yeah. It seems to be a thing in East Asia generally. That's like if you go to Japan and you see their like pachinko stuff. Have you seen those? Like, it's a big part of the culture out here. So going to be big money, and seeing this collaboration is going to be a lot of. Now the question is, can we handle it?
Can we? It's too hot to handle.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Well, anyways, we have some political news coming up next. Now, there's a general election coming soon. Now,
I love the general election.
Who doesn't? But the Thakbai massacre that happened nearly 20 years ago is having a political impact on Pattaya, particularly ahead of the upcoming elections. Now, a recent NIDA poll shows that the unresolved 2004 Thakbai massacre could harm the Pheu Thai party's support ahead of Thailand's general election. Locals in Yala, Pattani, and Narathiwat revealed that 55.2% think Pheu Thai will face negative consequences if justice remains unserved. While 39.5% said it wouldn't impact their vote, 25% felt it would, and 23% noted moderate influence. The People's Party emerged as a top choice, surprise, surprise, securing nearly 19% support, with many still undecided. The Tak Pai tragedy, which occurred under former PM Thaksin Shinawatra, involved 85 deaths during a protest dispersal. So this is a pretty crazy story from 20 years ago under the leadership of Thaksin, who is still very much influential in Thai politics and is still seen as being somewhat responsible for the unfolding of these events and not maintaining stability.
Whoa, what are you talking about, Alex? He is a fragile, sick man who was in hospital for a very long time. And he allegedly has no power at all.
Allegedly, but I am inclined to think that as long as he's still breathing, he's still going to have some sort of impact, particularly on his daughter, who is now the
Forgot
prime
about
minister.
that fact. Yeah. Wait a second.
So
what's going on here?
Thai politics, gotta love it. But we'll see. I don't know. The election will come up. Well, I wonder if what games will be played and backroom dealings will be made. But so far, the people have yet to speak. Well, time will tell.
All right. We're going to move on to our next story today regarding British tourists fined for reckless motorbike riding in Phuket. Another day, another tourist behaving badly. 9 British tourists have been fined for reckless motorbike riding after residents in Chalong, Thailand reported their disruptive behavior. The Chalong police received a complaint on November the 7th about foreigners riding dangerously on Kok San Road, disturbing locals with loud engine revving. The next day, police located the group in Pattaya, where they had rented the motorbikes, and the tourists were charged with causing a public disturbance and dangerous driving. Following inspections and verification of their identification and motorbike documents, the tourists were fined and their details recorded for future reference. Naughty men.
Let's go to Thailand and start a motorcycle gang. Huh?
Yeah.
This is what you get up to on the weekends with Jason, huh?
Absolutely not. Come with a group of friends to Thailand, rent a bunch of bikes, and rev bomb and make some noise and be some bad boys.
Yeah, par for the course at this point, unfortunately. But examples being made. Hopefully, they get their acts together and don't do this again. Now, I wonder what it happens like if they repeat. Like, so right now, slap on the wrist, right? But details taken down. Does it deportation, jail time?
I love how they must have felt like just standing in front of the police station with that paper in front, taking a picture. Must have felt like proper naughty boys.
Yeah, I love that about Thai law enforcement, where they really do they make the public shaming thing. It is very paternal.
Yeah.
You do feel like a child, like, yeah, I did that. Pointing to the drugs I smoke. Oh, this is me, like, or whatever. It's funny. Apparently, it has an impact psychologically. That's for sure. All right. Speaking of Brits getting in trouble on the roads, that's not our only story involving that. A British man has been injured in a Pattaya road rage incident going across the water over there. Now, a road rage incident in Pattaya's Nong Prui district left a British man, a.k.a. Mr. Edwards, with head and arm injuries after a confrontation with a Thai driver, Mr. Artit, following a minor traffic collision. The altercation occurred near the LK Metro Hotel after both parties pulled over to resolve the issue, apparently with fists. Witnesses reported that tensions flared as the drivers argued, leading to Mr. Artit to strike Mr. Edwards with a metal rod. Ugh, that's assault. Claiming self-defense. Both men received on-site first aid, and Mr. Edwards was hospitalized. Pattaya police are investigating, reviewing CCTV footage and witness statements to decide on potential charges. Authorities remind the public to resolve disputes calmly.
Be calm, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, keep calm and carry a big stick, apparently. Like, good God. What is it about driving that makes people so angry?
I don't know. I genuinely think people in Bangkok are fairly much better than other provinces.
Yeah.
But things are like out of order in Phuket and Pattaya sometimes too.
does appear to be that way. I think
People are just more reckless, and they're just in a hurry, or like, I don't know, they almost get into the car to get angry, and then they come out of the car and they're a different person.
Yeah, I don't know. This is why I like outsourcing. I don't drive in Thailand. I don't like the stress of it is just unnecessary to me.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think Bangkok is better because you're rarely going above 20 kilometers an hour anyways in Bangkok, so it's hard to get. You're just in a constant state of frustration. But I'll another anecdote. I was in Macau, took some taxis over there. Good God, if I was like holding on for dear life, like every three turns, I was like dying. Anyways, stay calm, everybody.
All right. Our next story is talking about a overnight phone charging that sparks fire in Samut Prakan building. Ladies and gentlemen, do be careful next time you charge your phone. A fire in Samut Prakan, sparked by an overnight phone charging, injured a father and his 2 sons due to smoke inhalation. The blaze broke out in a 3-story commercial building on Soidan Samrong 28, prompting a swift response from local fire services with 4 fire engines and rescue teams. The fire, which started in a second-floor bedroom, took over an hour to control, and the homeowner, Nung, recounted that the fire began from a power socket while charging his phone. Despite efforts to extinguish the flames, he evacuated with his son. As the fire grew, all 3 were treated and released from the hospital.
That's a rude awakening. My God.
Was it the phone? Was it the electric system because it was an older building?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hopefully the investigation can figure it out, because if it happened in one electrical socket in that building, it could be, in the whole building. That
Was
could
it
be
the
an
new
issue.
iPhone 16? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there gonna be a mass recall? Are Apple stocks gonna fall?
Well, we're getting clickbaity over here. This is good. But anyways, just glad they're safe.
Yeah.
And managed to wake up in time before it ended up being something a little more tragic.
But it's crazy to think that just charging your phone could bring down an entire building.
Yeah. Not good. Electrical fires, man. Especially like middle of the night. I mean, like, I don't know, scary stuff. But I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of setting fire to things,
Okay.
we're on to a warning from Suvarnabhumi Airport. Now, they've issued a safety warning for the Loi Krathong festival that is upcoming later this week. Suvarnabhumi Airport has issued a public safety warning for November 15th during the Loi Krathong festival, urging people to refrain from flying lanterns, balloons, using lasers, or setting off fireworks near the airport due to risks posed to aviation safety. Communities planning such activities must seek approval from their district offices at least a week in advance, so it's too late if you haven't done that already, to allow the airport to be notified. Outreach teams have been sent to educate nearby residents about the potential dangers these activities pose to aircraft, especially during takeoff and landing. The airport will also enhance security patrols to ensure compliance and protect flight operations. I love Loi Krathong. What do you like? I think it's a fun festival, man. Like,
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Especially, it's a great festival for foreigners coming to Thailand for the first time and experiencing. People always say, Songkran is fun, which it is. Absolutely joy and pandemonium. But Loi Krathong is all about tradition and the belief and everyone coming together and beautiful lights.
Yeah.
And you feel so Thai after it as well. Like, once you've participated, you feel like, oh, wow. Kind of feel like there's a part of me that's now going to be Thai forever.
Yeah, it's spiritual experience, like in a lot of ways, and I think you're right. It's a beautiful one. But yes, don't do it near the airport. Okay.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Not the lanterns.
The lanterns.
That's what their main problem is.
Yeah.
Like even in Chiang Mai, they have the lantern festival. They shut it all down because eventually the lanterns come down and they land in people's houses and start fires.
Yeah, that's also terrifying.
What goes up must come down, ladies and
Indeed, it
gentlemen.
must. Yeah, didn't think about that. Hopefully, I'll be okay. Anyways.
All right. Our next story is actually around from ASEAN. So we're going to go to Malaysia first, where ex-Prime Minister of Malaysia ordered to pay over $300,000 in defamation case. Now, a Malaysian court has ordered former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin to pay over $300,000 in damages to former Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng over defamatory Facebook posts made in March 2023. The Kuala Lumpur High Court ruled that Muhyiddin must pay 1.35 million ringgit, retract the statements, and refrain from repeating them. Muhyiddin, who faces additional charges of sedition, corruption, and money laundering, denies any wrongdoings and plans to appeal. Lim expressed gratitude for the ruling, calling the accusations false. The defamation case stemmed from claims that Lim abused his position by revoking a tax exemption for a charitable organization during his term.
Someone's talking smack. I don't know. Yeah, at the highest levels. Wouldn't that be funny?
Smack get cracked.
Yeah, I guess in Asia, like that's something we're not familiar with in the West. If you've seen anything of at least
What about
American
my freedom
politics.
of speech, bro?
Yeah, indeed.
I thought this is America.
I love that. Yeah. As an American, I do feel the right to exercise my First Amendment rights in every other country in the world. So,
I'm
classic.
an American citizen.
Yeah. Oh, I thought this is America. Just start fighting everybody. But anyways, it's funny to see this high-level infighting in the Southeast Asian countries, and just sort of the smacking back and forth, like, no, you lied, now you got to pay money, and it pretty much seems like whoever is actually presently in power is the one who has the ability to enforce whatever kind of punishment they want. So I still wouldn't call this a total victory for the people in any kind of way. Just sort of like fighting at the top kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, on to our next story. We are heading over to Japan. Now, what's something you think of when you think of Japan?
Sushi.
Sushi.
I think of Disneyland. I think of Okinawa.
Well, I think of old people.
Oh.
Japan has outlined plans for a self-sorting autonomous cargo highways in the wake of their aging population and labor shortages.
Wow.
Japan is developing an Autoflow Road, a dedicated highway for autonomous cargo pods to connect major cities and tackle a projected 34% transport capacity shortfall by 2030. These pods will transport goods continuously, reducing reliance on human drivers and alleviating traffic congestion. Using existing road infrastructure like shoulders or medians and potentially underground tunnels, the system will include autonomous depots where forklifts load pods. En route, the pods can self-sort and park in buffering lanes to optimize delivery timing. A glass dome will protect the highway for security. Test runs between Tokyo and Osaka are planned for 2027 with full operation by the mid-2030s. Brave new world.
I feel like I just saw a scene from iRobot. You know when they're all like driving in those cars?
Yeah.
I feel Japan would be that first country which would where all cars would be just flying.
I am certainly not surprised. That's for sure.
Japan first.
It's one of the funny things, though, because it is all stemmed from a labor shortage, right? They don't have enough workers. And what's funny is that Japan doesn't allow immigration, man. They are very hostile towards their immigrant population. And they have an aging population. So because of that, their answer for all of this is through technology, right? So they have like the most vending machines in the world, right? So that's instead of like store clerks and things like that. I don't know if this is good, because then who has jobs to have money to actually consume stuff, right? At the end of the day. So, we'll see. It is pretty cool, though, the feat of technology, at least. Troy T asks, so no more truck drivers in Japan? Looks like it's going that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. So be careful if that's your job over there. Probably not watching us, but anyways, kind of fun.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story, taking us to North Korea and GPS disruptions affecting South Korea's aircraft and vessels. Now, North Korea is being naughty once again. North Korea has disrupted GPS signals near South Korea's border for 2 consecutive days, impacting flights and vessel operations, according to South Korea's military. The disruptions were detected from the Kaesong and Haeju areas and affected dozens of civilian aircrafts. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff condemned the actions and warned North Korea of full accountability for consequences. Analysts note that such interference poses risk, especially in Incheon International Airport, which handles significant passenger and cargo traffic and lies close to North Korea. Tensions have escalated as North Korea intensifies provocations, including missile tests, and has grown closer to Russia amid reports of military support for Ukraine.
It's like those rascal neighbors, man. Like, it just seems like it's weird, the provocations, because they're kind of like a little annoying things. Like,
well, North Korea, I just feel, just finds things to do every couple of months just to let people know, like, hey, don't forget us, we're still here.
Yeah. Like, it's a very frustrating neighbor
still
to
here.
have. That's for sure.
North Korean lives matter.
I feel for the South Koreans, because they're obviously trying to move on with their lives. They got K-pop and great movies and things like that, trying to soft power the world. But then all of a sudden, North Korea is flying down balloons full of garbage and stuff like that. Like what random nuisance attacks that they've been doing. And now the North Koreans, actually, funny side story, North Koreans are now fighting in Ukraine, right?
Okay.
You know about this?
So
for Russia in Ukraine. And the internet, of course, Russia, not exactly a bastion of free internet speech, but it is freer than North Korea. Apparently, all the North Korean soldiers with access to the internet are getting addicted to something. Any guesses?
Porn.
Correct. That's exactly it. Making them much more ineffective fighters and much more enthusiastic about staying home
It's just
on
tired
their
all
smartphones.
the time.
Indeed, yeah. That's not exactly what you wanted when you got a bolstering of troops to the front line. But anyways, good for those North Korean soldiers, I guess. I'm not sure. A whole new world has opened up to them. Maybe we'll well, anyways, I'm not going to speculate anymore. All right, well, on to our last story. I have a really funny one for us at the end. I'm not sure it's funny. It's tragic as well.
Okay.
But, well, let's just get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
A Vietnamese man has discovered that his daughter was switched at birth after suspecting that she was too attractive to be his.
Okay.
A Vietnamese man doubting his daughter's paternity due to her beauty and lack of resemblance to him or his wife conducted a DNA test that confirmed she was not his biological child. His wife denied infidelity and eventually moved away with their daughter Lan after the confrontation. The truth emerged when Lan transferred to a new school and befriended a girl born on the same day and at the same hospital. A joint birthday party revealed Lan's strong resemblance to the friend's mother, prompting another DNA test that confirmed a birth switch by hospital staff.
Whoa.
The families now plan to disclose the truth to the girls when appropriate, though legal action against the hospital remains uncertain. The story has sparked significant online debate over in Vietnam and beyond.
What do you do once you found out that the children have been swapped and you love this child that you've been taken care of for years? Do you then immediately swap? Do you wait? Do you not swap?
They home wrecked, man. Like, this guy was like, why this girl does not look, I am too ugly to be this girl's daughter. That's pretty funny what he said.
Sense.
And then he accuses the wife of infidelity. Wife's like, I never cheated.
Yeah.
Right? This is our daughter, even though it wasn't. She didn't know.
Yeah.
And then they split up because of this. Like, this is insane to me. Like, that, the hospital switched them up like this. And what do? Do you swap back now? Like, are we doing like well, I'm sorry.
Wild,
like,
man.
Thoughts? Please let us know your thoughts on this story in the comments, everybody.
Baby swap.
Ooh, crazy one.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those were some of the stories from across Thailand. You can find more stories, of course, on thetiger.com. And you can get involved in these stories on
ASEANnow.com, baby.
That's right. Thailand's largest expat and foreign forum.
Yeah.
For now, we're going to dip our toes into the comment section a little bit.